Hi, I'm Trish from TrishNewbery.com, PDF sewing patterns and tutorials. I'm making this video today because my favourite spare sewing machine, my brother SE400, got stuck in reverse. Not the first time it has happened, I've got to say. So the first time this got stuck in reverse, I cleaned out the bobbin case, so and I'm just putting this video up in case it comes of handy for someone later on. So I took the two screws out here, obviously I took this panel off, I took the whole casing out, I had an air compressor, blew it out, put it back in, still stuck in reverse, did the whole thing again, couldn't get it to work, went away, came back after a couple of days, pulled it out again, and there was the tiniest piece of fluff stuck. Once I removed that, the machine started sewing forwards again. Great, so that was a bobbin issue. This time it wasn't. So this time I tried all that. I've wasted all weekend, good couple of hours on Saturday, good couple of hours on Sunday trying to work this through. So my second line of attack was to take the whole thing apart. So I watched different videos, took all the screws off, took this off, took all of this front casing off, oiled everything I could see. I even took this part off, which I really didn't need to do. Fine, oiled it, still stuck in reverse. What was happening? So we'll turn the machine on. Okay, so it automatically defaults to the plain stitch, and when I was stitching, it just stitches in reverse. I thought it might have something to do with the buttonhole because I was trying to stitch a buttonhole out at the time. Okay, so if I put it on, I'll put it on a zigzag, and it was doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so one of the tutorials said hold the back button down and see if that works. And I'll hold the back, and it didn't, to get it to go forward again. Still going backwards. Let me just turn it around. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll hold it down while going fast. Didn't work. Alright. See, still not working. Alright. So one of the fixes also said, turn it off while holding the reverse, turn it off, then hold the reverse button down for 5 seconds. So I turned it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it on again. And we'll just default back to straight stitch. And there she is again, going backwards. Okay. So we are stuck in reverse. There's no question about that. Alright, so I've just checked to make sure the feed dogs are up, which they are, but I've just noticed when that drops, it's not going up again. Let's just see if something's happening in there. Okay, so drop in up again. So they're up again there. Might be a feed dog issue, so I'm going to disconnect this. Make sure you always make sure you put your screws somewhere where you're not going to lose them. This is a very badly shaped screwdriver. Okay, so this is forwards, it's back, it's forwards, and when that lever there is forward, it's still looking like that, so away, up and down, and then it's So that's going forwards. Alright, so what I did, we may have a solution. I don't know, we'll see if this works. Okay, so what I did, so this reverse thing might be an issue. This lever here thing might be stuck backwards, so I'm going to oil it. So I'll just do a close-up on that, the white thing I'm talking about. So this white thing here, I always find this one really awkward to get into. So there was me thinking it was probably a computer software issue, but it may actually be a mechanical one. And if it's that, it could be because there's fluff built up. And I always keep covers on my machines. I'll just back this video up. I'll just do it there. So I always cover my machines when I'm not using them, and to be fair, I don't actually use this machine a lot. I bought it so I could have the choice of all the different buttonholes, and I also bought it for the embroidery function, so I don't use it as much as I should, so I'm just wondering if it actually needs to be used a bit more. Alright, so I've got those screws back into place. I'll put the power cord back in. And turn it on. Let's see. I'll just do a test manual crank. Make sure everything's in the right place. And let's stitch. No, we're stitching in the same place. That's so annoying. Change it to a different strap stitch. Still stitching in place. If anything, it slightly is feeding it backwards. Oh, and now it's going forwards. Oh, for goodness sakes. All I did was change the stitch length, which is this one here. Oh. So all I did was fiddle around with this. And does it seem to be going forward? Does my reverse work? Reverse seems to be going in one spot. But it is sewing forwards. To go forwards, this feed dog needs to start at the top, so at the highest point, and go backwards, down and up. And that little lever there, now I've pushed it all the way back, is going a lot further back. So that lever is almost just, it was more like on midway. It wasn't forwards, it wasn't back, it was just not quite back. So I'm going to put more of my machine oil on that little spot. Whether it does any good, I don't know. At this stage, I don't care. I just want everything moving, and I'm just trying to oil anything that moves, unless it's computerized. Maybe things need to sink in. Just checking for fluff too, just to see if that could be an issue. Spring there looks to be okay. Just don't want to touch grease anywhere near any of the computer wires, but generally when anything moves you just sort of want to keep it a little bit lubricated. Okay, so what I've done is this lever here, it was sort of just a little bit further forward. What I've done now is just push it all the way back. I'm going to give that a go and see if that makes a difference. At this stage, I'm not holding out too much hope. Making sure I've got no bits of fluff or anything stuck in there, because I know that was an issue last time. I have taken an air compressor to this before, so to be cranking forward now. I always like to do a few hand cranks before I plug it back in, just in case something is not right. Okay, turn it on. Center. Oh look, it's going backwards. Go figure. Oh, change that. Oh. I heard it go clunk clunk, so in theory it should be. You can hear it. And now it's going forward. All I did was hit the stitch length button. Will it go backwards? It's only going back a really small amount, but it is going backwards. Now will it go forwards? Oh, for goodness sake. And now it's going forwards. Honestly, I'm so worried about this thing, I'm just going to keep it running for a few minutes. I don't know, I'm guessing it's probably something to do with that white thing. What I'm going to do is just, pump some oil in there and just let it drain down a bit. Try and let gravity get something going in there. So now it's, when we go forward, and forwards it goes back first, and backwards it goes forwards first when you start in that top position. So I'm pretty sure it's something to do with this mechanism here. And I noticed before it was like stuck part way, so I'm wondering if there is just a bit of gunk in there, it's just not letting it move freely. Okay, so let's see if that's done any good whatsoever. So, top position, yep, and it's going backwards first, and that's all the way back. And remember, when you fiddle with this flywheel, you should always move it towards you. See the teeniest little bit of fluff down there? I don't know how, because this has all been cleaned out multiple times. Alright, so where I'm at now is, apart from the fact I have sewing machine oil over everything. So the feed dog lever underneath that little white one I showed you, I have pushed forward. And I am about to okay, so we're sewing forward now. That's interesting. Now when I hit the reverse button before, it used to clonk and then it wasn't clonking out, but I can hear it going clonk in and clonk out again. Only when my foot's down and the button's pressed in. So forwards. Oh no, look, we're stuck in back reverse now. Oh, there's something, yeah. Oh look, it's working now. So I'm convinced it's got something to do with that white feed dog issue underneath, so it might not be anything to do with the stitch width and length. Recheck and rethread upper. Getting closer to a solution, I hope. I did put quite a bit of sewing machine oil in that area. I also tipped the machine on its side for 5 minutes. I was a bit, obviously it was all disconnected, I was a bit concerned about doing it, but it may be the answer. Maybe I'm just not using the machine enough. I'll try this again. Alright, close. So forwards, backwards. I haven't got that clonk anymore. Okay. Let's just change this to zigzag, see if it works. Okay. It does. Forwards. Reverse. Yes. Reverse is working forwards. I'm still not hearing that clonk. That's weird. Okay. Bring it to the upper position. Change it back to straight stitch again. See if it'll work. Going forwards. Going backwards. Clonking noise is gone. Right, now let's see if we change stitch length. Let's drop the stitch length down a bit, see if it'll still work. Yes. Yes. Okay, width. I'll increase the width. So that clonk I was talking about before is really subtle now. Okay, so do I dare try a buttonhole? Let's give it a go. Actually, that's probably the wrong fabric to choose. It's a stretch fabric. I'll get a linen. See if we can do a linen. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's working. Look at that. Okay, let's try and see if it'll do it another one. You know what, the proof of the pudding is if I turn this machine off and on again is whether it will work or won't work. So, count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn her on. Get on buttonhole. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's working. Okay, so my conclusion to the issues I've had with this machine, what do I think? I thought it was to do with the computer, now I think it's to do with the feed dogs. It's to do with that feed dog lever. So just to go over again what I did, I put that feed dog, when I opened this up, that white lever, which is for the feed dogs, wasn't quite forward and wasn't quite back. It was sort of like just a little bit forward. It wasn't even in the middle of the back. So what I did was I oiled it really, really well, and I wiggled it a couple of times. Then I lifted my machine up. It was all obviously unplugged. I lifted my machine up like this and let the oil trickle down for a while. Turned it back in, back over, kept sewing straight stitches, kept my foot down while I was reversing, kept my foot down on the pedal until I started hearing the clunks, because you could hear a click when it engaged, but you couldn't hear it when it disengaged, and when I was reversed it was going on the spot. So I kept doing that, and I think it just finally freed up. So either I haven't been using the machine enough, or there was some grease coagulated in there, and clearly it took a while for that machine oil to go through. So I hope this helps someone else. I might even have the issue again down the track, so I might even need to refer to my own video on this. So don't give up, and you won't need to send it to a repairman. Just keep trying. As I said, I spent a couple of hours on Saturday, a couple of hours on Sunday, and I've probably spent a good 2 hours on it now. Yeah, leave comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, and I really hope this helps someone else, because this drove me crazy. I love this machine, but that really drove me nuts. I hope to see you again soon.